Hello everyone, welcome to Front and Fun. So in this video we'll be creating a form validation using Joy. Those are not aware of Joy. So Joy is a data validation library for JavaScript. So we'll be making use of this Joy and validate the form. So most of the videos on YouTube show the Joy integration with Node.js, but in this video we'll be integrating Joy within the browser. Okay. So I'm not going to use any Node.js backend here. All we need to do is go to JSDeliver and search for Joy. So here you'll be having two packages here, Happy Joy and Joy. So if you click on Happy Joy, as you can see the package has been deprecated. Okay, so we should not use this Happy Joy. We should use this Joy, that is a sideway Joy. So all you need to do is click here, copy the URL, and inside your static HTML paste the script tag. Okay, so I'm running this HTML using live server extension, and I have downloaded the Bootstrap 4.5 version, and I have copied the CSS and JS files. So I'll just link those things here, CSS/bootstrap and JS/jQuery, because Bootstrap relies on jQuery and Bootstrap bundle. Fine. So this is the final version of what we'll be creating. So if you see, if I click on submit button, we'll be having a error message displayed right below the fields here, and if I enter some valid data and hit submit, as you can see we'll be given a feedback that the field is valid. Similarly for the email, if I write some @domain.com, the field is validated. Okay, similarly for the mobile number we'll be having a custom error message. So if I type some alphabets, invalid mobile number is a custom message. Okay, no matter if the field is not valid, we'll be having this custom message here. Fine. So even for the message, if the character length is less, then it will be displayed as length must be 10 characters long. Okay, so we'll achieve all this using Joy. So let's get started now. So inside this I'll be creating a container, and most of the code I'll be just copying and pasting because we'll be working mostly on the JavaScript, and I'll focus less on the HTML structure. And you can directly copy the form from the Bootstrap website. Okay, so search for Bootstrap forms, and for the forms, so no matter if you are using 4.3 or 4.x, unless it is different from 4.x. So I'll just copy the form tag from here and keep on pasting inside the HTML. Fine. So first inside the container, let's create a row. And call -md-12. And for the form, I'll just add the form action as hash, and let's give it a class of contact form. Fine. So just go to the Bootstrap website and copy the form group from here, and this will be name field. Okay, so let's change this all the for tag for and id to name. Okay, so first will be username. So I'll just make this as username and this should be name. Fine. The type should be text here, and for now let's get rid of this area, and the placeholder will be enter your name. Okay, and we don't want this help text. All we need is we need to have a feedback, a div for the feedback. Okay, so if we get any error message, we need to display it inside this div. Okay, fine. So let's go to script and let's create the schema first. So when you visit the Joy documentation, Joy browser documentation, Joy docs, and visit the documentation API, they'll be using capital JOI here, but instead inside the browser we need to use small JOI. Okay, joy.object, and we need to define the object here, that is the schema object. So first will be a username. The username should be a string, so joy.string, and it should be minimum length is 3 characters and max length is 30 characters. And let's give this a label. So the label will be used to display the message, and this is a required field. Fine. So for now we only have the name field, that is the reason I'm adding the name field here. Fine. Next let's create a function that will validate. Okay, the main concept for this function is, the main task of this function is just to take the data object and validate against the schema. Okay, so const result will be schema dot validate, and what we need to validate is data object. Okay, so data object structure will be, so let's add a comment. So data object structure will be something like username, where we'll be having a username here, and similarly email field. So I'm just using the spread operator so that I can spread all these values inside the object here. Fine. And we need to pass the second value, that is abo abort early is false. So what this abort early does is it checks for all the fields, and if it is true then it validates only the first field, and if it is not valid then the execution gets stopped here. We don't want that to happen. We want the validation to perform on all the fields. That is the reason I'm using abort early is false. Fine. And finally what we need to do is we need to return the result. Okay, the result will contain errors as well as the valid data. Fine. Next comes the form part, contact form part. So document dot ready, because we are using jQuery, I'm just using jQuery here. So we have given a name contact form, that is a class. So I'll use contact form dot on submit. So when I submit this, I want to execute this callback function. Okay, prevent form submission first. So e dot prevent default. Next, let's create a constant. So contact form is equal to this. Okay, so I don't want to use this, that is the reason I'm using a variable so that I can refer the contact form with that variable name. Fine. And for the username, what we need to do is contact form dot find hash username. Okay, so we have given the ID username. With the same ID, I'm just grabbing the input there. Fine. Next, for the errors, I'm just creating a constant, that is a form errors, where I'll be calling the validate function. Okay, which is declared on top. Here I need to pass username. So username will be, this is the key which I want to validate against. Okay, so this is the key and this is the value. So for the value, you need to write username. This is a username field, so let me write username field dot value. Fine. And to display this errors with respect to fields, so if the name field is having an error, we need to display the error beneath the name field. For that, I'll be creating an empty errors object. So initial errors for the username will be null. Next, we need to check for the form errors. So if the form errors are having any error, the form errors is having a key. Form errors is basically an object. If the object contains an error key, then we need to destructure the details that are present in the form errors. Okay, form errors dot error. And so details dot map. So details is an array which contains all the errors here. Okay, so I'll just write the console logs here so that you can see. Console dot log details. Okay, so first let's try submitting the form and see the errors here. Okay, so here I need to write a submit button. And all I can do is button and type submit, and let's give it a class of btn hyphen primary submit. Okay, so I'll just open the console. Okay, for some reason the form is getting submitted. Let's see here. Okay, I forgot to include the script tag, so I'll just include my script. Okay, so if I click on submit, as you can see, details is an array which contains all these things here, the message as well as the key here. Okay, so right now we have the messages, the error message in the console. So I'll just get rid of this console, and I can do is details dot map and we'll be getting individual detail. So we'll be getting individual detail here. So individual detail contains the key, okay, context.key as well as the message. So I'm just interested in the key and the message. So all I can do is I'll just add the key, that is initial errors. So initial errors is having the same key here, username. So I can just write initial errors of detail dot context detail dot context dot key. So detail dot context dot key is equal to detail dot message. Okay, so if I just write console log for initial errors, okay, username undefined or detail dot message it should be. As you can see, I'm just having a key and the error message is name not allowed to be empty. Fine. So we need to display this error message in the invalid feedback. So what we can do is write the errors to the UI. Object dot keys of initial errors dot map. So object dot keys will give an array of keys for the initial errors, and I'm just mapping through the array. Okay, so initial errors dot map, and we'll be getting individual error name. So if the error name is username, then we'll be having a username here for the first iteration. So if initial errors of error name is not equal to null, that is if the error exists, then that is if the error exists, then what we are going to do is $# error name. So I have wantedly used the username and the username property here. Okay, so I'm just adding the ID and the schema object name as well as the form errors and initial errors name, the same text here. Okay, same username. So I'm using username here, that is the reason I'm using username and username in the initial errors as well as the username in the schema. That is mandatory because this is JavaScript, not any React. So we need to show the error somehow to the user. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to add an class and remove a class. So if there are error exist, then we need to remove isValid class and add is-invalid class. Okay, else we need to do the reverse. Okay, we just need to remove isInvalid class and add a valid class. So let's give this a try, and if I submit, as you can see, the invalid class is added. and if I write something and click, as you can see, the valid class has been added. Next thing is we need to display the error message to the user. So inside this, if the error exists, then we need to show the error. So we are having the invalid feedback next to the input here. Okay, hash dollar error name will be a key, that is error name will be a username. So I need to use backticks here. Error name dot next dot invalid feedback. So invalid feedback is a class. As you can see, invalid feedback is a class. I'm just trying to get the next div element after the username. Okay, after the username I'm just trying to get the invalid feedback, and dot text, I need to display the initial errors of error name. Right now we have only one field, that is username. So what happens here is we'll be selecting the username input and we'll be adding the classes here. This is username input, username input. So I'm just trying to get using the username here, hash username. So hash, and this will be replaced with the username. Fine. And this is the invalid feedback element. Fine. So let's see. So if I click on this, as you can see, there is an error which is displayed here. Name is not allowed to be empty, and if I write something, we'll be having a feedback. Fine. So we have done most of the part for the name field. So let's try adding the email field similarly. I'll just copy the email field from here, and so this will be an email field. So inside the script, all we need to do is add the schema for the email. So email will be joy.string. So just that should be a string, and that should be an email, and TLDS allow false. So this should be mandatorily passed here. I did not get what is this actually. So this should be complete mandatorily passed to the email. And for the label, that will be a label, and it is required. Okay, so we have added the email validation here, email schema. Similarly, we need to add the email form errors. So first we need to select the email field. So email field will be hash email. Because it is given an ID of email. Fine. And I need to validate this against the email of the schema. So that will be email field dot val. And for the initial errors, email will be null, and we don't need to do anything here. So if I click, as you can see, email is not allowed to be empty, and if I write example at test.com, this is a valid email. Fine. In the similar way, let's add the password. And I'm also going to add a checkbox. As well as select and text area. Okay, so these are the fields we have and we need to validate these things. Let's also add the mobile number which I forgot. Okay, so I'll just add the mobile number field here. Fine. So we are having a name, email. Currently we have only these two validations for only these two fields, and we'll be validating the password, mobile number, checkbox, and select drop down, as well as the text message. Okay, so I'll just quickly add the schemas for all these things. For the password, joy dot string dot alphanum. So alphanum is for the alphanumeric values and it should be minimum 3 characters long, and the label will be password and it is required. Okay, so remember me is the checkbox, so I'm just going to add joy dot invalid if it is false. So if the checkbox is not checked, then we need to show that it is a false. So we are not allowing the false. Okay, and it is required. So if the checkbox state is invalid, checkbox state is false, then by default it will be invalid. Fine. And for the select drop down, I'll just copy the ID from here for the select drop down. Select drop down. So that will be a joy dot string, because I'm just using strings here. The values are in strings 1 2 3 4 5. Joy dot string dot the label will be label. Label will be random number. So I'm just using a different label here for the select drop down. Dot required. Okay, and for the mobile number, here we'll be adding a custom message that will be a string, and we need to use rule set dot min, because we are going to define custom rules. We need to add rule set here. Okay, without this we'll be getting an error, and I'm going to add the minimum length as 10 and max length as 10, and I'll be matching this with the regex pattern. So the pattern will be, you can just Google the pattern and add the pattern. So this is the mobile number pattern, and the final thing is we need to add the rule. The rule is you need to use keep true, and the custom message should be invalid mobile number. Fine. So this is our custom message here, and final thing is we have a text area. So I'm just using dot string dot min 10 and required. Okay, so now we have the username, email, password, remember me, checkbox, select drop down, and the mobile number and the custom message. We need to pass the values from those inputs into the validate function. Okay, so I'll just use const, and for the password, next contact form dot find hash password. Next we need to use remember me, that is a checkbox here. So I'll just use remember me, and for the select drop down, so I'm just pressing Ctrl D so that I'll get the next instance of the word selected. Okay, select drop down, and for the mobile number I'm just selecting the password field and pressing Ctrl D for the mobile number. And for the message, final thing is for the message, mobile number, message. Fine. So let's just cross check. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Fine. So we need to pass the values here for the password dot val. So this should be fields here, password field, remember me field, drop down field, mobile number field, message field. Okay, password field dot val, and for the remember me, remember me dot val. Similarly for the select drop down, so I'm just passing the values from the inputs to the validator function here. Okay, mobile number field dot val, and finally message field dot val. Okay, so let's add the initial values here. So I'll just copy all these things. Fine. So username, email, password. Initially all the fields will be having a null message, and once we map through the errors and we'll be getting the invalid feedbacks, then we'll be adjusting the classes here as well as the error text message here. Fine. So finally let's give this a try, and if I click on submit, okay, label spelling is mistake here. Okay, remember me. Fine. So for the checkboxes, what we need to do is we need to use remember me field dot is colon checked. So if it is checked, then we'll be having the true, and if it is not checked, then we'll be having the false or true. Fine. So as you can see, mobile number not allowed to be empty, and if I enter some text and click here, this will be an invalid mobile number. And if I write 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 0 10 digits, so it will be validated as fine. Okay, so let's give this example at test.com, and random password number, remember me. Okay, this should be 10 characters long. Finally we have all the fields validated here. The final thing we can do is, once the validation is successful, all we can do is we need to submit the form. Okay, So to submit the form, I'm just using an alert here. Let is form valid is equal to object dot values of initial errors dot. I'm just checking the every value here inside the errors object, and if the value is equal to null, then is form valid will be either true or false. So if it is true, if is form valid, then we'll just write an alert message success, else alert error. Fine. So as you can see, it is an error, and if I write some details here, okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 0, select some random number and add a message. Okay, this should be 10 characters long. Success. Okay, so that's it. Hope you enjoyed this video. So this will be a more than an animation, it is an informative video. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be providing the source code link in the description. We'll meet again in an exciting tutorial. Take care.